the project that we have implemented in so far the 3 countries, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, was partnership between the Lake Victoria Basin Commission, the United Nations University in Canada, and the countries. Basically, the project was initially started as a review of performance of micro projects of water and sanitation that were implemented under Lake Victoria Environment Project Phase 1, LVMP1, which had been undertaken in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. So through that partnership, we just decided to check which projects or related water and sanitation sustained being operational after the project closure. The project closed in 2005, in December, and we started this work in 2007, 2 years after the project closure. Our interest was to find out the interest of people in the micro projects as measured by a continuity of the projects. So we got some seed funding from the United Nations University. We carried out a review. We dealt with the LVMP offices in the 3 countries. We commissioned them to do an assessment of micro projects on the water and sanitation sector which were operating or which were done, and find out what the status. So that was done in all the countries, and the results were very surprising, I think, so we must say so. Some projects had actually closed, others had stalled, others had actually been closed on agreement by the community because of conflict in the utilization of the resources that were coming from it. But our objective was the review was purpose of the objective of identifying those projects which had sustained operations, had got additional money from elsewhere, and were serving the community, and preferably projects that were led by women. So in that review, the best performing, surviving and performing projects in the countries were ranked by that assessment, and that is what led us to Mbarika in Tanzania, in Misungi district, the women group there. The project was led by women on water supply in a rural area in southern Tanzania. It also led us to Abala in Homa Bay district. Again, the project was led by women on water and sanitation. Until led us in Uganda, it was Kindi. Kindi is a lakeshore fishing village, which was really an organized BMU with a separate entity managing the water resources, the water supply that had been built. So those towns or those communities were the ones which led, which they demonstrated the resilience, they demonstrated organizational capacity, they demonstrated the group dynamics, which were missing in other projects which had been implemented. And so we selected them for the second phase of support. So that's why the Nearshore project came in for those 3 towns. Mbarika was led now, the lady has died, unfortunately, at the end of last year. The old lady who led the project, she died. But she had mobilized enough group of women. We went there with the Secretary General to visit the group, and they demonstrated actually that they were actually in need and they had the capacity. So together we're working with the district of Misungi. They were able to build a new water pump house, repair all the pipes that had been broken, get a new engine for pumping water, and training which was given to the local women there. So in that project now we have water supplied to about 2,000 people, community. Fortunately, there was already government infrastructure in place. There was a water tank So we pump the water from the lake up to there. In Abala, a deep borehole had been sunk in that place under the first project, but pumping that water was a problem, and so the community chose that they needed a solar pump to help them pump the water. The solar pump was bought, and now we have a happy community of 3,000 people getting clean water. It has changed the way they live, as you could have seen. Kihindi in Uganda had quite a peculiar problem because the design of their intake and reservoir were out of phase. In all these 3 towns, the options were selected by the people themselves. We had nothing. We gave them the money, we had the options, but the district water officer supported the groups in selecting the option and also providing the technical assistance, guidance in the process of restructuring. So in all cases, the districts concerned were party to the process. So Kihindi sump with almost 20,000 liters, a new tank, additional tank of 10,000 liters, 5 kiosks distribute water, and a happy community there again is there receiving water at a rate, at a price. Actually, many people are employed. All the kiosks have been tendered out, so a new employment has been created. So we're happy that the projects we are talking about was of a budget of $15,000 maximum, but they have cost change in the life of the people, and that's the happiness that we have. And because of that, we presented a case to the partnership committee. We are going to expand the model to Rwanda and Burundi as well, and consolidate Mbarika and Kihindi through provision of solar-powered pumps. Instead of Mbarika is using diesel, it's quite expensive, and also Kihindi is using electricity, so it causes the price to go up. So like Abala, which has the minimum cost, with the high returns, we want those others to go do the same. But we are also doing a one project in Rwanda, one project also in Burundi, under a similar arrangement with the funding from the partnership fund. It's our hope that the model that we have started will be replicated, will be the model that is adopted by also government, because we've noticed that working with the community, empowering them, supporting them minimally, but giving them the choice of managing the resources, giving them the option of selecting the technology, and giving them the option of selecting the interventions that they want is actually a very useful approach. Produces big results. We're very happy to have contributed to change of life of the communities in those 3 villages that we supported. The basic thing is that we had a small money. I said $15,000, but maximum impact has been achieved. So I wish that is replicated. We have attracted interest. The UNU in Canada is now commissioning a detailed research to find out how we did this, and maybe to see whether it can be of interest for academia. GF has also visited some of them, because they also, when we presented our work, they couldn't believe that such amount of money could do the work done, and the results that have been achieved. But we told them to visit the place themselves and meet the communities. So I think we have generated interest, and we want it, this model, we want it to be replicated in the whole of the East African region.